I have one other thing because we didn't touch on it, but I do want to touch on this quickly. You've also got AI, which you mentioned earlier, but
Mm.
we didn't bring up now. Now, how is that going to change
It's going to change.
trading?
It's going to change everything. So, so in 2017, uh, Google's DeepMind, so DeepMind was an AI company acquired by Google, but in 2017, this DeepMind hadn't been acquired yet. Brilliant guys over there, and the guy who started DeepMind, one of them is a chess master, and he said, "What if we give AI the rules of the game of chess, but we don't give it any human games to train on?" So before that, the best uh, 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 chess programs had been trained on the best human beings. Made sense. Why not train on the best? Yeah. And back then, the best chess programs, chess programs were significantly better than human beings. Like they would crush the world champion, Magnus Carlsen, who's one of some say the greatest. I still think Fischer was better, but
You're a little biased though. You knew Bobby Fischer.
I knew Bobby, but still, and so Magnus Carlsen, truly one of the greats. He's one or two, like easy. Anyway, the best chess program back then, if he played 100-game match with that chess program, which is known as Stockfish back then, he'd be lucky to get one win out of 100 games. He'd be lucky. If he got one win, yay, 1 out of 100. But then Demis said, what if we just train the AI, we just give it the rules? And so in 4 hours, this program had played millions of games against itself, each game getting better. On no human games, it didn't see any human games. And it leapfrogged all existing knowledge of the game in 4 hours. All existing human knowledge of the game built up over 1,000 years, duplicated by an AI machine in 4 hours, but then it leapfrogged it and discovered things human beings had never thought about before. And so it plays like alien chess. It most of the time, like 90%, 5% of the time, you go, wow, it's so much better than any human being. It makes total sense. But then it starts making these alien type moves, and you go, oh, there's no way it could get away with that move. And then 4 moves later, checkmate. You go, wait, how did that happen? And so the AI program, without any human biases, discovers things that human beings had never seen before, had never thought of looking for. And so that program right now could have beat the old program. I mean, it did something like it crushed it. Like in a 100-game match, it had a plus score of like 27 wins and 73 draws. It crushed and that other program was way better than human beings, right? So AI and trading. Now, what happens if we just let these bots just do their thing and learn from their mistakes? They'll discover things that, and so part of the problem, like LLM models, those kind of existing models that AI trained on human beings, why would you want to do that? Why not just let it kind of discover things on its own? And so it's a matter of 3 to 5 years before trading programs would crush any human being, like probably already pretty close to there. I mean, on all domains across the board. Imagine you're going into sports betting, you're up against these AI programs. Good luck. They're going to have such an edge on you. It's just, and with no emotional bias or anything, right? And so then what happens it becomes the bots playing each other, right? And then there's going to be, some alpha, like the best of them all, right? But that's going to happen in stock trading. It's going to happen across the board in everything. And then where are the opportunities? It's almost like entropy, where it'd just be this fixed. There's no way to get an edge anywhere. Where it was Mark Twain who said, it's a difference of opinion that makes a horse race. There has to be somebody thinking it's going up and somebody thinking, I think it's going down. I mean, that's simplistic, but. And so what happens when there's no difference of opinion? Because the best opinion has been, like these bots are out there just like, this is what the price of gold is. It's just what it is. And it'd have to be some major change out in the world. And I will instantly discover it and recalibrate around gold. That's it. So I think there's going to be, the vol is going to shrink down to like, it's not, that's why I said entropy. There's not going to be any vol. Not, and I think that's 5 or 10 years away, max. And
yeah, I mean, these things grow exponentially quick. So, I mean, this is an exponential.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, it's fascinating and scary all at the same time. But yeah, you're right. I didn't think about it I thought about that with AI, with the trading, and as you were describing it,
it's going to get there too. Whatever,
no doubt about it.
You could possibly, as great as you are with your experience, a bot is going to notice that things that you've never even thought to look for, right? It's just, there's no way you could possibly do it, right? And so at that point, then it's the bots duking it out against each other. I say the bots, right? These programs duking it out. And then, then one's like, okay, well, there's that one DeepMind alpha baseball. We just can't compete with that program. Why try? And then the program's not going to find any bettors to take the bets. Because all the other ones don't go up against alpha baseball. It's just DeepMind's got that locked. So we have another 5-10 years, and then it's unclear to me where even investing goes. And think about this would extend to venture capital, so many things, and across the board. So we're 5-10 years away max from that happening.
Yeah, it's scary because all investing, and I think we kind of touched on it when we first started, it's just about finding that edge. And when there is no more edge in anything,
yeah,
there's no investing.
And because there'd be no difference of opinion. Like you are going up against, the alpha, baseball or alpha day trading, whatever it is. You can't possibly win. You can't. And the emotional toll, there's a great documentary on Alpha, I think it's called AlphaGo. And it was DeepMind when they created a program, play the game Go. The game Go, which is that Japanese where you put the stones down on the board, the black and white stones.
Chinese, I think it was. Chinese.
No.
Is it Japanese? Okay, I thought it was a Chinese game.
No, it's a Japanese game.
Okay.
Anyway, it's called Go. And, heck, maybe 2,000 years ago, it was invented in China, but it's the Japanese, like they own the game right now. Anyway, the documentary is the number 2 player in the world is up against this program, and it's worth watching his emotional horror. He's watching himself get beat by a program. He's the number 2 player in the world. Number 1 won't play the program. He won't. No, I'm not gonna. I'm kind of busy right now. But the number 2 said, sure, bring it on. Good luck. And to watch, and I say horror, because he's got no idea what he's up against. And you watch his face and his emotions, and it's like I'm playing an alien, and I don't even understand why I'm losing.
Well, the significance of Go is the fact that it's got infinite amount of moves.
Right. It's way harder than chess.
Right.
And
So they've always said when AI can figure out Go and be a dominant at Go over humans, that's when they've really gotten AI to that point
and they've
of
got there. They got
like,
there 7 years
yeah,
ago. And imagine where it is today. Like so much. And but again, if you watch his emotions, you see a man who's just like, remember, this is a guy the best in the world, right? Like, oh, what? Oh. And then to watch yourself get beat by a program and not even understand how you lost, right? Like if you're a boxer and you're going up against Muhammad Ali, you know why you lost. You're up against Bruce Lee, you know, okay, I didn't see the punch, but that's Bruce Lee. But this is it just, and to watch like the emotion, whether or not you're interested in the game, I'm talking about the emotional and why is that important? Because the AI overlords, right, are like, it's just 5, 10 years across all domains, medicine, law, and it'll be the knowledge workers that get their toast. The legal profession, I was talking about this 10 years ago. The legal profession, accounting, finance, anything involving thought and stuff. From this point, 5, 10 years, your history, not needed anymore. And now I'm not sure it will be implemented everywhere simultaneously, but it'll be real clear within 5, 10 years. Oh, doctors, like, why would I even want to second guess, you know, MD GPT or whatever it is, you know, so, and then what do human beings do? You know, in a world like that, it's coming. It's real close. This isn't science fiction. This is right.
no, it's here.
It's here.
Medicine. You can imagine if you take your you go do your blood work. I mean, when you go to the doctor's office now in the United States, I mean, you're in there for 5, 10 minutes for your regular checkup. They're looking for anything major that pops up on your blood work. Doesn't, you're on your way, and if something does, maybe they'll give you a pill for it. Now an AI is going to really dig deeper into all of your blood work and all of your maybe your other analyses that it's going to
Wait a
do, what
second.
other symptoms you're having,
You're
and be able
right.
to put them all together.
But the AI will know 6 months before, hey, you better start taking this medicine right now so that you don't have
That's
to
right.
go to the doctor's office. And by the way, doctors currently do a really bad job. Multiple studies have replicated this. The doctors, roughly a diagnosis, there's the 1 in 4, 1 in 5 shots of diagnosis is incorrect. Think about that. There's a not insignificant chance that your doctor who says you got X is wrong. And by the way, if you got a second opinion that backs it up, there's a 1 in 16 chance they're both wrong. Right? And that's not insignificant. So
I think when it comes to the medical profession, I think we've, if you break an arm, something that shows up easily on an X-ray, they're kind of good at that. But I think it's just a lot of guesswork with other stuff. And I know I've from personal experience that.
Yeah, but everyone knows, okay, it's a broken arm. Got to set that. Like, okay.
That's it. That's an easy one.
Most things aren't like that. Right? It's not that simple by a long shot. And the thing is right now, this is the other thing, is that the AI programs for medical diagnoses are so good, but they can't explain the diagnosis to the doctor because they've looked at thousands of variables and have all these, these AI models and ensemble models that are checking this and that. There's no way that you can verbally explain to a doctor, this is why this is the correct diagnosis. So you can't even human oversight of these programs is impossible. There are proofs by mathematical proofs of mathematical theorems that are done now by AI that the best mathematicians in the world cannot follow. Because the proof is like 10,000 lines long. So imagine a proof. Like 10,000 lines long. And then where mathematicians, all they can say is, I didn't spot an error. So maybe it's right. I as a human being, even though I haven't I got a field medal in mathematics, but I don't understand the proof. There's no way I can. That's what we're so close across the board on that.
It's exciting, but it's certainly it's certainly not without some anxiety as well as to where we're heading. But it's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Actually, one last thing within sports betting and things like that. What'll happen is the fact that human AI is better than human beings at chess, still a world champion among human beings, right?
That is true.
And it's every bit as exciting, and so I'm sure that they will have ways that you can bet against other human beings, and just keep the AI programs out of it, because the AI programs are not allowed to participate in the human chess championship.
Well, what I could see is the sports book saying, "Hey, we're going to have the AI, so we're going to set the price at the most perfect number that nobody could beat that number."
Well,
and
remember, that's not their goal,
what's...
though, right? Their goal is to maximize the number of bets.
Right, but they're going to get the price at the right point where they could get maximum. They'll get action on both sides, and so they're always going to have the best market.
But it's not. They're not laying a line on the game. What they're doing is they're maximizing. This is the point at which the people above and below are going to agree on, because that's where they make their cut, right?
Well, so there's a couple of different things. So there's there's what we call sharp books, which are mostly offshore from the U.S. And they're willing to take sharp action. They're willing to take the smarter bets, but they'll take it at a much lower. So they'll start with low bets, and they say, okay, if Adam comes in and bets here, I know he's pretty sharp, and if he's betting on a number that I posted, well, we better move that number in the direction he bet. And now they'll get some other sharp people. They'll think they have it right. They'll increase the bet size a little bit. Now Adam comes in and hammers it again. They go, "Whoop, we had it off." And by that time, eventually, when they raise it to a point they're comfortable, they're willing to take a large bet from Adam. But what the U.S. Sports books, just about all of them, they're what we call square books. And all they're doing is basically they're keeping the sharpest bettors out of the market. They don't even want them to bet. So they'll either limit your bet size if they deem you to be a sharp bettor, or they won't let you bet at all. And what happens is they're just looking at the sharp books offshore and just replicating their line. So they're like, well, the line should be -7. We'll just take that. So they're not even making their own lines. But I could see someone's going to come up with an AI model, and they're going to say, you know what, this is where the line should be. And you could go ahead and take large bets at this number because we've got all the information and this is the right number. 50%, they want to get it somewhere 50% on both sides. If we're talking about, let's say, the NFL, and they're going to say, you know what, at -7, we're good here. We're safe. This is going to land on, this is going to be over -7 or under -7, 50-50. And that's the number that they want to get to.
It occurs to me, though, that you just said something that triggered an insight, which is this, is that the program will know the best way to trade the stock or whatever, but they won't be thinking portfolio level. They won't, because I may be willing to lose on this. If I add in these traits where I know my odds aren't really good, if I add them into the portfolio does better, even though I'm losing on those traits. I don't mind. Well, I'd like to win on all of it, but I don't mind because I know the portfolio, right? The vol is greatly improved by throwing those in. So even there may be a way to even, you're not beating the line, the AI line anymore, but you might be willing to go against it because within the portfolio, I'm even willing to take some of those negatives because it'll equal out, it'll smooth the vol of the portfolio.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting thought, but AI is going to should be able to replicate that as well.
It won't be, well, sure, I was thinking about that too, but it's not, it can't beat every portfolio in the world out there. I didn't
No.
like
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content.